All right, so in this library, whatever you want to look for in the search box. Right here, though, you're gonna see all the different open house. So Marty Miller is one of our main tech trainers. He's got some in here. Here's one from Keller Williams. So what you want to do is scroll through here, and they're even rated. So just like if you're shopping on Amazon, look through here and find out which ones have the highest ratings. And then what you're going to want to do is click on view steps. So this one's got 5 out of 5. That's going to show you how they built the smartphone. Now, if you hover over where it says send text, it will show you what that message is going to be. Hey, contact first name, so it's going to input their first name. Thanks for coming by. What did you think of the opening? That's pretty generic. I'm not a big fan about it. But after you look through a few of these, you might put together a few that are like, oh, I like this touch. I like this reminder. I like this time frame, things like this. And now, when we get to building your own here in a few minutes, you got kind of a good place. So just have a scrap piece of paper next to you as you look through these, and you can work through them. Thoughts or questions? Are we good? All right. So now, we want to, let's just say we want to add this one here. To put it in our personal library, hit add to smart plan. What this is going to do is going to show you that it may be tied to other smart plans. So when one smart plan starts or ends, another smart plan. So this is connected to the neighborhood nurture. And whatever this plan is. So they're all connected. You can download them all at once.
So then does it remind you like, so obviously you need to make the content.
Well, if you find one of these that you like, you don't have to. So that's why you always start the library and look for what you want. Because it may already exist. More times than not, what I've seen is people are like, I kind of like this. I kind of like a little of this one. They don't find one that's like a perfect fit. Because it needs to sound like you. If it's truly going to work, it needs to sound like you. So once you add it in there, and I'm not going to add this one, but it would be under this My Smart Plans, again, your personal library, it would attach here. Let's say we wanted to create our own. This is where a lot of people will end up. And if you build it the right way, it can be used multiple times. So it may take a little time to build it, but that's not a bad thing. So we're going to hit create. Name for smart plan. I'm just going to call mine test. So this is about as simple as it gets. On the left-hand side, it's all the different things you can show you on the right screen. Show you on the screen.
Yes.
Okay. So on the left-hand side, this is all our options. Create task. So this will pop up in your task reminder box to do the task. Make a call, send email, send text, add a smart plan. What that does is when smart plan 1 comes to an end, it will automatically kick them into another smart plan. So what we talk about with marketing, we always say things should have multiple steps. You send out a postcard to Brad's neighborhood. Don't just send one postcard. Have multiple steps. Same thing with your smart plans. Once it ends, let it just go ahead and roll into another.
How about like, what do we draw into another one?
Well, you gotta think about it, like, what's our message gonna be? What's our topic in this smart plan? Are these leads we've never talked to, so you run an app and they don't reply? And after a while, you just attach them to the smart. You do like emails and text messages, just go out. It comes to an end, you send them on a different smart. Maybe it goes to just once a month newsletter.
I was wondering for a place to send email, and I think that I just don't want to be on that. How do I send an email to everyone?
I do it for smart plans. I just make a one-step email or one-step smart plan. Put the email in, I just put it on there.
So then I would just like send the email to create my.
But before you get, when you get to this screen, have multiple steps. Like how often do I want to be talking to these people? What do I want to be saying? What's my reason to reach out? And then slow chart through it. They don't reply, or should they do reply? Maybe we need to stop the smart plane depending on the topic and move them to a different. So let's role play this really quick, because this is literally how I go through this. So I'm gonna run an ad on business. So I'm gonna be selling business. So I'm gonna go to my whiteboard, like I'm gonna run an ad around 123 Main Street. People come in, I have them automatically attached to a smart plan. Thanks for checking out 123 Main Street. You want to set up time for one person. No, they get an email the next day. Hey, thanks again for checking this out. If you don't remember the house, hey, here's a link. We'd love the opportunity to meet you over at the house, let you see it in person. Let me know a time that works for you.
So how does?
Maybe
it
they don't
involve
reply.
Who lives around the house?
It doesn't. Like in this particular case, I'm just running an ad that uses a smartphone. So they clicked on his ad for the house I'm selling. But they won't know because we don't know anything about the people who might be interacting. Maybe we do. But in this case, it's just a blind ad. So maybe the third day, it's like, you never heard back from me, you know, like, what's going on? And it goes all the way through the steps. And at the end, maybe I can start doing it once a week. Now, let's say we want to do a smart plan on what you're talking about. Maybe it's a neighborhood nurture smart plan. We would have to have their addresses in there, which would attach them to a certain neighborhood. And then that smart plan will read that part of command that has John Smith attached to this neighborhood, and it will send it based on that to them. That makes sense. So you got it in the, like where you put the phone numbers, email addresses and stuff. You have to put in their neighborhood. But before you get to here and start filling this out, you should have it all written out. What do you want the message to be? How many touches where they'll be and all these things. If you get here and you're just winging it, it's probably not going to turn out too well. The other thing is test it on yourself for a few days. How does smart plan only go to you? All right, so yeah. So we're gonna hit send email. That'll be step one. So they reply to whatever. So simple would be just, it's a text based, it's no frills. Subject, make it catchy. What is going to draw their attention? If it's about a specific house, maybe put the address. Message, what do you want it to say? See where it says add merge tag? Don't know why they call that, but that's where you're gonna put contact first name, contact last name. What that is the tag that's gonna read the person's first name out of their contact card. So it'll say, hi, John. So here it'll say, hi, contact first name. But in the actual email they receive, will say, hi, John. Whatever it is. So why they call it merge tag, I don't know. Hyperlink, this would be a great spot if you're talking about a specific house. Put the link to the house there. If you want them, hey, start your home search here. That could be your title, and then put the link there to the search site on your website. Want to find out your home value? So if we're doing the neighborhood nurture, get your home value today. And a link right to your home value site. Step details. So it's going to go out on day one. And unfortunately, on the first day, everything goes out immediately. Unfortunately, you can't. I wish you could, but yeah. So once we're done, we're gonna hit add step. Oh, this one there. Now we can add a second step here if we want. So let's say on day one, we also want to be reminded to make a call. So we'll drop that in there. Here's where I think people make a mistake. See this description box? That's a great place for it to print. This is going to fall in your reminders to call this person. Don't be afraid to copy and paste the script. Only you see that. So that's a great place. Like you're out on the road, you don't have your script book with you or something. Well, come in. Oh, I got to call John today. Click that reminder. Pops up. There's the script. That could be great. And again, hyperlink, so that if this is gonna be a house specific kind of smart plan, put the link to the house, because again, you're gonna see a lot of houses. You may not be able to remind yourself of everything. And then you can see, when is the task due? Same day, next day, in 2 days. I do my reminders the same day. And I do make them time specific, so it defaults to all day, I don't know why. So I always make mine usually 9 in the morning. Or 8:59, just make it easier. And then we'll hit add step. Now we're ready to add a day. So now we're ready to go to day 2. So we hit add day. See where it says wait 1 day right here? Right there, we can, so right now, this would be stuff happening on day 1 or day 2, I'm sorry. If we click here, we can change. So if we want day 1 to have a phone call, a text, and email, we don't want the next touch to be for 2 days. We're going to hit skip 2 days. So our next reminder won't be until day 3. And then we do the same thing. We drag in whatever that step is going to be. Right up there. Hit that step. Oh. Step. Yeah. So here's the big mistake people make. I'm glad they finally added this in here. So a lot of times our smart plans are based around people we have not talked to yet. Right here, I remove this contact from the smart plan when they reply to the email or may reply to an automated text. Because if we're basing this around, we've not talked to these people, all of our messages on side, hey, we haven't talked to Brad. Let's say Brad replied on message 2. If he keeps getting messages that sound like we've never talked, does that sound professional?
Yeah.
Correct. Because I might bring it all up, or I might word all this so it sounds like Brad's talking to me. But he's not. If I do a good job, he probably knows he's not talking to me, but it sounds like he is. I think. Well, to your point, we've already talked about what he thought about it. 2 days later, he gets our message again. He's okay. So that's why I'm glad they finally added this, because the big mistake I saw people make it is they talk, they forget to add a note, stop that smart plan and do something. So make sure you check, I would check both of those. So as soon as they reply. But again, this is only if you've never talked to them. If you're doing neighborhood nurture stuff like that, we don't need to worry about that. Once everything's done, hit save. And it'll show up in your personal list of smart plans. Did see right there at the top. Yes. So the name is only for you. Name it something that makes sense. But your best use of smart plans will be around ads, around open houses, around promoting your listings or somebody else's listings. Because now they hear from you immediately. And don't be afraid about being too much. They're not replying because of keep reaching out. 3 best uses of those smartphones. Neighborhood nurture. So in the contact card for that person, make sure you have their address and their neighborhood. And then pick neighborhood nurture smartphone. You can do bi-weekly, so every other week. That's somebody looking to sell here pretty quickly. Or monthly, that's somebody that's gonna be selling down the road. Second best use of them, and this is no particular order, home anniversaries. I'll remind you, hey, so-and-so's home anniversary is coming up. That's a trigger for you a few days ahead of time to say, mail out a card, do a gift. Third is gonna be ads around your listings or open listings. Those are the 3 best uses because these are people you know and don't know. Mix. Remember, if you're going to do texting, it has to be a Twilio number. You can do that for like $3 a month.
So when you do that, it's going to give you
A new number. You pick a number. It's always the same number. You pick your number.
It's out a message. Is that in the community?
in the marketplace. So see, right next to the 964, the little storefront looking icon. That in the marketplace, just search for Twilio.
You have your, there's set up for your actually. Like,
My personal phone number, no, I know there's a way you can do it, but it's a,
because I'm actually, glad you brought that up, because today I set a reminder to review, really, to see if I can get it. Because I canceled it.
reach out to Emmanuel, he knows how to do it. He had a whole list, but he's like, it can take up to a month because the Twilio people have to talk to your cell phone provider. And I mean, it's like a whole process. But it is nice that it's from one number. I don't know what it all entails and things like that, but if you want to call Emmanuel, he does know how to do it.
I know when I first started, they didn't have our area. And it's like South Carolina,
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I don't like, I mean, I don't.
well, that's the only bad thing.
What if it's number?
Now, if you don't want to do Twilio, the way it would work in the smart plan, you put in your message. And then it pops up in your reminders to do that, and you can just copy and paste that message into your phone. And message it out of your number. It will not show up in your timeline. Everything you're doing through the smart plan that automates emails and texts will show up in your timeline. So you'll see what was sent out. So let's make this the big walkway. Just build a fake smart plan, attach only you to it. Just see what it looks like. If you don't have Twilio, get that going first if you're going to use it. So you can see what the text messages are. Reminder, on Twilio, it does give them the option to opt out. You cannot change that. So build a sample smart plan, just mess with it. Sign up for Twilio, take a few days, let it just come to you. So you see what that looks like. And then think about what's the action that I want to use my first smart plan for? Is it to promote a listing, promote an open house? Am I going to get all my past clients on a home anniversary smart plan, which already exists in the library? Do I want to do birthday touches? Do I want to do holiday touches? What's that first smart plan going to look like? And think about it. Then if you have any challenges, question mark icon up there, top right corner. That's tech support. Reach out to Mallory. She can help you, or reach out to me.
So like for the email ones, it'll remind me that I have to send an email out on that, and then how do you add it in there? Like,
It won't remind, it'll send the email on that.
this is it.
You type it.
Oh, but yeah, I guess that's what I'm wondering, like,
Yeah, you built the subject and you built the body.
oh, okay, right, in the plan, so you don't need to go to your email, it's just, oh,
It
yeah.
automatically does, yeah. And again, the good practice is if you have emails going out. So if you attach any client to a smart plan, it may not be a bad idea to attach it to yourself. But after a while, like you can't do that for as many people as you attach. So
Right,
just make sure you know how to check, like what you're sending to everybody. Because if they call you like, hey, I got your email. It's a plan you built a month ago. And they just got an email from you. That might be a little confusing for them. Figure out if you want to use Twilio, and then just mess with building your own. It's not hard. But think about what you want that first campaign you're going to build to be. And let's get some claims on it, okay? All right, guys. Well, thank you.